Hello, friend. What's up? Today, I wanted to share with you something that I think might help you, especially if you're in the season of overwhelm. I personally have been known to be a workaholic. I put my head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes, my everything into the things that I do professionally. And when I was younger, it seemed to be fine because I've been working since I was 19. I've just always been doing something. I don't know how to sit still. But as I've become older and that process continued in my life, I began to experience burnout and the effects of being constantly overwhelmed, bombarded, overextended, yes to everything, and no to rest. And I have been sharing this with women in my community, especially those of you who've done my 52-day challenge with me, that rest is not a suggestion, it's a requirement. One of the things that I began to see deeply through Bible study was Sabbath. The idea of a Sabbath was a commandment, not a suggestion, that every period of time of work needed to be followed by a period of rest. So let me talk to you about my 3D strategy that I teach to the women that I coach and mentor, and hopefully it'll help you. It's also in my book, Daughters of Zelophehad, that I wrote a few years ago. And it's just an interesting framework that will help you re-examine what your priorities are and help you make a decision about what's worth investing your time in. So the first D, delete. Oh my goodness. Thank God for the delete button on our computers, right? When something is no longer serving you, delete. There are some commitments that maybe you made years ago and you just keep doing it because everyone expects that you'll keep doing it. Maybe in your family, you're the organizer, you're the one who takes on the social burden of getting people together. And maybe it's taxing you now because it's not freeing you up to do other high value tasks. Delete. Press that delete button, and deleting can be hard. It can be, it can cause conflict because when you've been doing something all along and then all of a sudden you stop doing it, people have a way of making you feel judged and guilty for that. But deleting is so powerful. It is a tool in all of our toolboxes, and deleting could be as simple as saying, regrettably, I'm no longer available to do this anymore. Or regrettably, I have a competing priority, and that competing priority could be you, your rest and your recovery. I remember a few years ago, I was working with an executive coach who did something called a time audit with me. She asked me to open up my calendar and show her all of the things I've committed to. And I did. And she looked through my calendar. We were going, day by day for that current week where we were speaking. And she said, yeah, well, I don't see you on your calendar at all. And I said, what do you mean? This calendar is full of me. These are all of the things I've committed to do. She said, yes, these are all of the things you've committed to do for other people, but I don't see you here. So can we get you on your own calendar? And I stole this idea from her, which I'm going to share with you now. She said she has an alarm that goes off every day that just asks two questions. How are you feeling and what do you need? It's her way of putting her on her own calendar. And that's been a powerful thing to do. Every noon, midday, the alarm goes off on my phone. How are you feeling and what do you need? Sometimes I'm feeling tired. I need to take a nap. Sometimes I feel like I haven't laughed in a while. I should call up a friend or schedule some girl time with someone. But the check-in, the regular check-in with myself has been a helpful frame for helping me deploy these 3 Ds. So the first D is delete. The second D is defer. Defer. What is it that you may be committed to now that maybe you can pause and go back to another time? I was sharing with some of the women in my mentoring and coaching circle that I had committed to do a doctorate program, a PhD program, ready to do it, ready to rock and roll. But at the same time that this program would have started, my kids were switching schools. We were moving house. I just had a lot of other things going on professionally and personally. So although getting my PhD is great, it didn't fall within the right timing. So I decided to defer so that I would not be overwhelmed, right? I don't believe that being overwhelmed is ever God's best for us. And now I'm really determined, especially as I'm getting older, that look, I have to be ruthless in prioritizing the things that actually make sense for me to do, right? And the final D, delegate. Oh my, I don't know about you, but I like holding on to tasks. I like saying no one will do it like how I will do it. No one will do it as well as I would do it. Nobody can see things the way I see them. So I must do it myself. And this right here is one of the reasons why so many of us are overwhelmed, overworked, exhausted, and burning out. Delegate. What are the things that, you can just let other people take off of you? I have always struggled with letting people help me, but the more I let go, the more I say, hey, I'm doing this. Would you be interested in supporting in this particular way? The more it frees up my energy to focus on other things. And yes, people sometimes disappoint. Yes, sometimes they're not reliable. But what's the alternative? Being overwhelmed, overworked, and burnt out? No way. So the final D is delegate. So this is my 3D framework for dealing with being overwhelmed. Number one, delete. Number two, defer. And number three, delegate. I hope this helps you to overcome overwhelm. And I hope it also helps you to re-examine the priorities that you have in your life and be very ruthless about the things that are really highest value and will enable you to both be productive, but at the same time rested. And if you haven't heard, our Standout Women's Leadership Program is kicking off in June 2025. We'll be in Ghana, and in August 2025, we'll be in Kenya. If you are a professional woman who's really interested in moving to that next level in leadership, if you're ready to prepare for prominence, then I really want to encourage you to reach out and join us for either of these two cohorts because I am overwhelmed by how impactful the feedback has been for women who've done the program in years before. So reach out to me. Stand out at leadingladiesnetwork.org, and our team will be back in touch with you with more information about how you can participate. Until next time, my friend, stay well. Mwah.